this in citric acid solution along with that side and the group head properly, and then once that's done, if I can get these threads good, obviously new bolts. If that goes well, just put it all back together with some of the new parts that I have from Shades of Coffee, and then we'll be on to like testing it, descaling and making espresso, and hopefully good espresso. I'll be making sure, if I can, to definitely put some silicone lubricant on these bolts or some sort of grease so that they're not as stiff next time I come around to do it. But also, I'll make sure to do it much more regularly than 18 years.
Here I was mopping up metal swarf, penetration oil and water after drilling the boiler screws open. I take the group head out so I can give the inside of a case a good clean and get it nice and shiny.
Boiler's out, I'll give it a better clean. There's like bits of swarf in here from the metal. I think that's in a good place now for me to just tip it over and to unscrew this. That looks like a 4mm. I didn't do these tight. I really want to know if I can apply grease to these safely, because that will make maintenance on these bolts and these parts a million times easier.
You can apply silicone grease to the bolts in your machine. The silicone grease is food safe, but obviously you're tasting coffee. Would you want silicone grease in your coffee? Probably not. So if you want to apply silicone grease to any of the bolts to make it easier for maintenance, you could definitely apply them there because there's no water involved. The ones that you screw the boiler back on top of the group head, you could apply some to there. It's unlikely really that it's, you know, if the mating face is nice and flush and you've got the gasket in there, the water, any water that goes out, realistically, it's not then going to have the pressure to go back in, and the screws are on the outside. But there may be some threads in there. For example, like the thread in the OPV valve, you wouldn't want to apply silicone grease into there because then you could potentially be shooting particles of silicone grease back into your reservoir, which then are going to end up back in your boiler and then eventually back in your espresso.
Taken apart all of these parts: the three-way solenoid valve, the steam pressure valve, the overpressure valve, this is part of the steam wand, this is part of the pump and brass fittings to that. So I've put them all in a bowl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a solution using 100% citric acid crystals. It's food grade. I'm going to try and create a solution using that. I think it is a tablespoon. So I've got a tablespoon here per litre. And the litre is all the way up here. I need to get a brush and brush the end of this. And also with the brush, this is the kind of the inside of the solenoid valve, which has rubber top and bottom, which apparently I can't soak in citric acid. I'm not sure on the exact reason.
Interestingly, the citric acid solution can cause the rubber to lose its flexibility and become brittle and crack.
I also have the two silicone tubes which feed both from the reservoir, but one into the pump and one into the overpressure valve. So I'm going to soak those as well. So I've got a litre of very hard water using to descale. Anyway, I could use my Brita filter, but I think the citric acid will be alright. So maybe I shouldn't have filled it right to the top, but that is what I did. So now I'm going to open this. Doesn't smell. Whoa! I may or may not have more than a tablespoon in here. A heaped tablespoon. Okay. Right. I will need a hoover. That's in there. It's amazing because this just looks like a jug of water by the end of it. We're going to pour this over the parts and then leave them for 10 to 15 minutes. And hopefully that'll be good, and I'll set a timer on my phone. No, I'm recording with my phone. I'll set a timer on my phone and then I'll return once it's done. So, let's start with this. I might need more for this. Yep. This bit looks like it's got a bit of corrosion around there. That bit right on the edge could be plastic, I'm not sure. Get that nice and clean. That looks quite clean. And so does that. I'll give them a little brush. They look good. This looks a bit dusty, so I might just give that a little brush with that. Just dry it down. Oh, you can see the brass has come off there, so I'm going to get everything out as quickly as possible now. The brass has come off, or whatever it's called. It's copper now. Clean out these tubes now. So I have this little tube brush set. Hopefully I can get all the way in with them because they've been soaking. Looks like the solution's been through, but still looks like it's a bit grubby in there. Oh yeah, you can see on the brush. This is taken off a bit of the stuff on the inside of this. That's good. Might be able to use some sandpaper on this bit down here as well. Here I've tightened these screws on to keep that tight, but I just need to test that it before I actually make the citric acid solution. I want to test that it will actually hold the water, so that I don't actually waste any time. So you can see here it's leaking out. So it's probably because I need to tighten this. Right, there you go, it's not leaking now. So I decided to come down here because it'll be a bit easier to clean stuff out down here. And I wanted to swill some stuff. I wanted to boil the kettle. So I think I'm just going to swill this out. Oh wow. That kind of went a lot lighter just by rubbing that with my thumb. So I watched the video, and this bit here, which I have the ridge on, needs to be flat. So I will probably need to use some sandpaper, like this bit of cake guy does on his, I imagine. I have a flat head as well. I could give that a go on it. But anyway, first, of course. Yeah, these 4 holes are the parts that I want to be good. So I need to try and get some solution all into those. So I'll probably sit it that way up in the solution. I think I can take this off as well. I've seen it being taken off. I don't think it will budge on mine. I'll just watch a quick video of how somebody did it. Okay. White, the top of this has gone. The litre. And I just with this until it's mixed in. here. Now pour onto here. And I'm just going to pour it over this. Here are the bits soaking. Is this doing anything, you ask? Well, you can see a bit of discoloration on there. Very liquid good stuff because it's strong. So, that's gone quite brown in that one. Nothing really has changed a lot here. Let's see if we can get any more of this kind of corrosion out with the very liquid. Don't seem to be getting any discoloration now, so yeah, I think I'll try filling this once more, and then it's probably just a job for the sun. Hard to tell with all the, you can see there's a lot of gunk on there still that could probably get off. Yeah, that bit on there that's kind of grown is just chipping off. Here as well. You can see this here. Is this corrosion? don't know what that is. Don't think it was like that before though. But essentially I've got my wet and dry here, 320, 600 and 1200. I've put a 600 one on here and I've managed to trap it inside here. And the reason why I'm doing it down here and going to rub it against it rather than the other way around, which I may end up doing anyway, is because someone on the Gaggia Classic Facebook group said that it's actually best do it on a flat surface essentially, because you don't want this to be uneven. But I can't really see how it would be that uneven anyway, because this is so fine, unlikely to be really digging and creating a big slope on it. So try and get this going. Oh wow, if you looked at that now, there's a lot of white on there. You might be able to see that white on there now. That's from one small push, so maybe this will do more than I thought. In fact, as well, it'd be a bit nicer if I could move it to, say, here. And I can fold that round. Feels like it is getting smoother, you know. Let's just check I'm still filming. Yep, still good. It's moving a lot in my hand though. Smoother. Definitely this side, I can feel that. Oh, in fact, you can see. You can see that shining up, see, on these corners. This is the 600 grit. Not using a lot of pressure, just trying to keep it flat really. It'd be ideal if I had something to tie that down and then I could really focus on keeping it really flat. That feels flat, but I would like to get it all to that shiny kind of thing. See, look here, 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 shiny. She hasn't seen the, oh, here we go. Found the sandpaper. Oh, that'll be good for your teeth. She wants it. That'll hurt. She's got it. I wouldn't want to use a coarser grit though, I would say. This is definitely coarse enough. Because this is kind of finely... Oh no, that does feel smoother. That does. So I would say, if anybody else wants to do similar, I would buy 3 or 4 at 600 grit. And probably 1 at 1200 grit.
That feels so nice now. So nice and smooth. That feels amazing. Right, I'm done here. So that's what that looks like now. It kind of still looks bad, but this is very smooth now. Very, very smooth. It kind of looks like it isn't, but it is. If you look at it at that angle, so you can see like nothing raised. That is very, very smooth. As I say, there's a little bit of pitting here and here, but it's very minor. Very minor pitting, just there and there.